How do you feel about it? That's the question. How do you feel about going to New Orleans right now? I don't really know the answer. Myself, I probably would let New Orleans figure themselves out and probably think to myself, you know what? The world as we know it is a little bit insane. It wasn't just New Orleans. There were shootings all over the country. We know what happened in front of Trump Tower, a place that I just stayed this summer and I really like a lot. I don't need a casino at this age. I can walk to the casino. I need luxury. That's right. And Trump gave it to me, but it seems as if the world, as we end the Biden regime, is coming to a bit of a chaos. Let's put it that way, chaos. New Orleans is set to host a Super Bowl coming up in February, but following the deadly terror attack on New Year's Day, many fans are on the fence about attending the big game. And this has Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick to urge everyone planning to attend this year's Super Bowl that they should continue. Now, I believe Kirkpatrick didn't even know they had those very heavy pop-up guardrails to block traffic from going on Bourbon Street. Apparently, she did a press con. I think it was her that she didn't know, or one of the people in the police force knows. So why would I take her at her word? Why would I take any of these police chiefs? They had a DEI hire get in front of us from the FBI that could barely put a sentence together with a nose ring. Somebody on Twitter, actually an African-American dude on Twitter, pointed out you're not allowed to have a nose ring. Why is she allowed? I don't know. See, I am a little bit suspicious of what went down here in New Orleans when that crazy, dumbass idiot decided he wanted to kill a bunch of people. So he got in his pickup truck, got past a barrier, went running down Bourbon Street in his truck, shooting and killing. But yet we're supposed to believe that these folks have this under control. When New Year's Day now, 3:00 in the morning, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, they couldn't patrol the streets. Think about it. I get it. Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, all that stuff is the biggest deal in New Orleans. But you're telling me people don't go, hey, man, New Year's in New Orleans. What a great time it's going to be. Oh, okay. And they didn't have the citizenry protected. And they've trotted out people that did not know what they had available to them to stop the traffic flow from going down Bourbon Street. Then they dropped in some DEI FBI person that called it an event, not a terrorist attack, when an ISIS flag was seen clearly to all. And you're going to tell me that we should come? Let's listen. They should plan on coming, Kirkpatrick told Fox News, like the Super Bowl. The Sugar Bowl today will be held this afternoon. We here in New Orleans have proven time and time again that we can provide safe environments. Look at the Swift concert just a few days ago. Incredible environment of fun, incredible environment where they can do some and know they're safe. Really? Really? Now, I always go the other way with this. If I were the parent or spouse of one of the people killed on New Year's Day at 3 a.m. in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street, I would say, can you really? Or are you completely inept and reactive instead of proactive? That would be my question. That may not be fair. Don't know, but it feels fair. We have plans. Oh, this is a terrorist. The terrorist is going to be hell-bent no matter what to create carnage and to destroy. But we as a city and a law enforcement community have already proven over time that we can handle and manage these large crowds. Well, yeah, until something like the other day happens. This is where it drives me nuts. It's not say or do, it's not do, it's say, meaning, yeah, we can handle large crowds. We've had large crowds. Here's what I also think. How many killings have been covered up during big events? I'm not talking about mass killings. I'm talking about just shootings that get covered up during Mardi Gras, during some event at New Orleans. Now, I will admit, I went to New Orleans a couple of times for a Final Four, never felt any kind of way, but that was in the 90s, maybe 2000s, can't remember. But the facts of the matter are these: they did not protect the people on the biggest night of the year. Second, they did not. Their mistakes will be covered up. We will never know. But one person, her, was very clear when she didn't even know they had these massive barricades. Now, you're telling me you want to trust your life to go to a football game with her? I don't think so. 40 hours later, ESPN, the Sugar Bowl is postponed over a truck attack. This 48 hours later, we're still doing this. We're still saying Sugar Bowl postponed to Thursday after New Orleans truck attack. All right. A couple people have said, well, what do you want them to say? I want them to say terrorist attack. I want them to say what it is. I want them to say what other law enforcement, what Joe Tessitore on their own TV channel said. We don't need it to be covered up. Just tell us what it is, terrorist attack. What are you going to do, scare us? What do you think, there's panic in the streets because ESPN says terrorist attack? I think we're good. I think we're really, really good. Now, Pat McAfee had this whole shindig figured out, as he normally does. Very patriotic with a flyover. Here's Pat Mac.
Our UFO just flew over top B-2 stealth bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. And this is the United States of America. And you might take a shot, but you're never going to win. And you need to understand that. And here at the granddaddy of them all, who will win?
He's right. See, this is the way we should be approaching things. We should not be approaching things with some little DEI hire with a nose ring that can't talk in sentences representing the FBI. We should have people like McAfee, or let me put it this way, because we do have people like McAfee in our military, we should allow people like McAfee, those that are in the military, those are the fighters, to talk like this publicly. This is what should rally us to be more vigilant. This should be the battle cry, because it is a battle. It's good versus evil in our own country. You saw it in Vegas. You saw it in Queens. There was a big, massive shooting in Queens. You obviously saw it in New Orleans. But what is so wrong about standing up for the red, white, and blue? What is so wrong about somebody getting up there? Like, you can hate him, but George W. Bush did absolutely what he needed to do after 9/11 on 9/12 to rally the country. Patriotism like we've never seen it, including in Congress. What the hell's so wrong about that? Why is that taboo to the people in charge? What are they hiding? Are they hiding something? The fact that you would even question what these people are hiding tells me they suck, and they do suck. We should be sitting here. We should be flying our flags. We should be proud. We should be playing the national anthem. We should be doing all those things. And last night, ESPN, hell, they didn't even show the national anthem. You know, at a time when our country's in mourning, at a time when our country needs rallying, ESPN did not even show it. God bless Notre Dame football. They showed and came out, and their Twitter site said, God, country, Notre Dame football. That's right. And they showed a player running out holding a massive American flag. And it made a lot of people feel good. What is wrong with making the masses feel good? Why do we cater to the jackassery, the liberal, little mealy-mouthed douchebags? That's not how this country was born. That's not how this country was protected. That's not how this country is. But for some reason, we can't do that. Oh, let's trot our DEI hire out there who can't speak to be our representative. Let's get some police superintendent or some police chief out there that doesn't even know that we have barriers that can be taken or not taken, hydraulically lifted out of the ground, and that truck and that idiot driving the truck would have had no shot to get through. She didn't even know they had it. And you're supposed to trust these people on February 9th to go back there for the biggest sporting event in our country? My ass. And it's my ass too. How about we get the most qualified men and women in there? And how about we get some people in there when we have tragedies that can inspire? Joe Biden gave a speech, and hell, he's such an idiot. You don't even pay attention to him anymore. Good that Biden gave a speech. Great that Biden gave a speech before the Sugar Bowl. But I thought Sean McDonough did a great job bringing it in. And he mentioned a heinous attack. There's nothing wrong with that. Some little girl with a nose ring, DEI hire. Yeah, I keep saying it, telling us it was an event. An event. F off. Ridiculous. Speaking of a little DEI hire, raise your hand if you're tired of Angel Reese. My God. So Angel Reese gets naked the other day, basically. She puts her ass out there, tits out there, and all that stuff. And she's clapping back at all the haters. Now, if you forget who Angel Reese is, she's the girl that can't make a jump shot or layup. She's the barnacle on Caitlin Clark's ass in the WNBA. She's clapping back at her haters for facing backlash for uploading a video of her in a New Year's Eve outfit, where she basically wore nothing. She wanted everyone to see her tits. She wanted everybody to see her half naked, and that's what she's become. Hey, own it, baby. OnlyFans gals are making a ton of money. In a month, they're making about 10 times what you make in a year. Ain't no problem with that, but here is the problem. Many of her fans have been urging her to put some clothes on. She don't like it. She should put clothes on. Look, this ain't Whitney Houston, baby. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This ain't Tyra Banks back in the day. I mean, this is some, fat ass little girl that, wants to take her clothes off. And because she's got a little clout right now, we're supposed to look. Now let's do this. So this is Reese's outfit. Now let's just go a little Angel Reese here. Here's Angel Reese's outfit. Let's have a look here. Okay. All right, babe. Now we didn't show, if you go lower, you see your tits are out. Okay, great. She got a little string. Okay. Okay, baby. You go, girl. All right, baby. You're a go Black Barbie or whatever you're calling yourself. Well, let's flash back a little bit because this is all this woman has done. All this woman has done since the WNBA has been around since the season is take off her clothes or put clothes that are too short. The camel toe's been flying. And next thing you know, we got to listen to her. But let's listen to what she had to say when she went all victim on everybody about a year ago.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and not be there for them. So I just want to always just know I'm still a human. All this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully I give them some type of inspiration that, hopefully it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are. Keep waking up every day. Keep being motivated, staying who you are, staying 10 toes, don't back down, and just be confident.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, take off your clothes too, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? You don't understand, Doc. And I understand perfectly. When it's time to be a victim, you got beat, you go be a victim. So you've been sexualized. The sexualized stuff took off like a rocket, mainly because Reese posts content like you just saw from New Year's Eve all the time. That's her thing. She shows up at NBA games, wearing shorts that barely cover her coochie. She shows up in all kind of stuff, and I can't even imagine what she does when she doesn't post it. But yet, I'm sexualized. Yeah, look, I get it. People want to say somebody should be able to wear what they want to wear, but I live in the real world. Sure, you should. Yeah, and more power to her. She's made more money, I'm sure, being in the WNBA and the barnacle on the ass of Caitlin Clark and being dragged along by Caitlin Clark than I'm sure she could ever imagine. And she's a nice basketball player. Good for her. But when you do things like New Year's Eve, when you do things like every picture you see of her, you're going to get sexualized. I live in the real world. Is it right? I don't know. Probably not. But God dang, are we tired of people throwing themselves out there, throwing themselves at us for a buck, for a little bit of clout, and then complaining when all of the clout isn't positive? Damn. I would argue that she probably has 3 to 1, 75% positive reactions to all her stuff. But I tell you what, it's hard to listen when this is who you've become. And I'm guessing who you've always been. Not to mention the fact, let's read it through, the sexualization stuff took off like a rocket, mainly because Reese posts content like you saw from New Year's Eve all the time. Not to mention the fact that she posed for Sports Illustrated last year. It appears Angel has stopped caring about what the haters say about her body, and she's officially taken off the gloves in 2025. Is there any more meaningless story that we're going to give you? Oh, you want to critique and analyze every single one of my posts? Fine. Analyze this, losers. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I think you should do right there, Angel Reese. Oh, you want to critique and analyze every single one of my posts? Fine. Analyze this. That's right. That's now I can get by. Now I can get down. But you throw yourself out there, and next thing you know, you're crying that people are looking at you. Oh, stop. Shut up. Just swim right behind. Anybody sexualizing Caitlin Clark? Some, but not because of what she wears. Oh, man, this guy, Aziz Al-Shaair. Remember this clown? This clown got suspended. He destroyed Trevor Lawrence on a late hit. A lot of people went the other way because we're afraid to criticize somebody named Al-Shaair. I'll criticize his ass. It was a dirty hit. He's a known dirty player, and he should be out of the NFL. I'm just saying. He's now claiming the league's 3-game suspension left him in a dark place. Here we go, another victim. Talk big, talk bold, hit hard, be the guy, and then as soon as somebody gives you any consequences for actions like they did Angel Reese, I'm in a dark place. Good. We're all in dark places. What are you going to do? I don't know. The victim mentality is long, and it's strong, and it's got to get the friction on. The victim mentality is beautiful. Yeah, I'm a tough guy. I'm bold. I'm this. I'm that. Oh, wait a second. Now I'm in a dark place. Dan, you're making fun of mental health issues. No, I'm not. I'm making fun of this guy, period. This guy here says the things that you can think when somebody says they're in a dark place. As dark as you can go is where I was, truthfully. What does that mean? I mean, you act like a jackass. There were consequences for those actions, and you went to a dark place. Welcome to the real world. Oh, what? It was a crazy time. It was hard for me to see myself playing football again. Good. Nobody knew you before, and hopefully no one sees you play football after. You're a cheap shot guy. You're a fraud. You're a bully. You're a tough guy that when he got knocked on his ass, starts whining with the victim mentality of, I went to a dark place. Jeez, man. Lastly, I'll say that this world is full of negative people. Really? I mean, like the ones that said, what are you doing, jackass? Knocking out a quarterback who's sliding, cheap shotting a player a month earlier. I mean, what? Those are the negative people? Like sticks and stones can break my bones, but names and words can never hurt me. Well, you hurt somebody because you're an idiot, because you're undisciplined, because you're a bully, because you're a clown. That's what you did. Yeah. Who can't wait to tear you down. I would bet this. I would bet that Al-Qaeda, whatever the hell his name is, I would bet, just bet, that Al-Qaeda here, probably had a bunch of support among the people around him. Because these guys all have their crew, yo. Hell, I had it. Bunch of dudes around you make excuses for you. But now he wants us to feel sorry for him because they can't wait to tear you down. Now, here we go. Oh, here you go. Now we're getting life advice from Al-Qaeda. But if you move with love and compassion, yeah, how many late hits in your profession have you done? I can't wait. There's got to be God in here. God has to be in here. Oh, boy, here we go. The seeds of good you planted in others' life can grow into the very tree that shades you with comfort and compassion when you need it most. Oh, man, the brother is being philosophical. Al-Qaeda, you go. Yeah, you go, you crazy nut job. Yeah. I love it when Al-Qaeda gets philosophical on me. Let's read that again. Oh, but if you move with love and compassion like I did on Trevor Lawrence and numerous others, the seeds of good You planted in others' lives will grow into the very tree that shades you with comfort and compassion. What a bunch of bullshit. Statement announcing that the appeal was denied. There's your dark ass place. NFL Vice President of Football Operations John Runyon included a paragraph about Al-Qaeda's history of rules violations and noted that a lack of sportsmanship and, listen to this one, respect for the game of football and those who play, coach, and enjoy watching is troubling and doesn't reflect the core values of the NFL. This is what the league said about him, but he's planting good in others so that he can sit in the shade of their greatness. I just felt like yelling. Man, it's troubling. Doesn't reflect the core values of the NFL. Your continued disregard for NFL playing rules puts the health and safety of both you and your opponents in jeopardy and will not be tolerated. Oh, man. Sorry about that, Al-Qaeda. While Al-Qaeda, that is something that stuck with Al-Qaeda. When he accepted the suspension, he took exception to the words, writing on X this week, that he had a productive meeting with the commissioner and executive vice president Troy Vincent, but will not have his character and integrity unjustly smeared. Okay. Wait a second. Hang on, caller. I'm going to go back to something. Right after the suspension, Al-Qaeda here posted this about being a villain. What? If you're going to be a villain, then be a villain, Al-Qaeda. It's a screen. There is a beauty in being rejected, misunderstood, unseen, unprotected by people. It teaches you to rely on Allah for everything. If you want me to be your villain, I'll be your villain. See you soon. Yeah. Well, so now, again, what did I just tell you about Angel Reese? Everybody wants to be this tough guy until there are consequences. And when those consequences come, every single person, well, not everyone, but most of them in sports, can't handle it. I'm in a dark place. I'm a victim. Don't do stupid stuff. Washington Commanders offensive coordinator and former Arizona Cardinals head coach Kliff Kingsbury wants another crack at being an NFL head coach. He emphasized the importance of setting a standard and holding people to that standard, which he learned under Dan Quinn. The Dans are dominating the NFL. Dan Campbell getting it done over there in Detroit, and Dan Quinn on his second stint after being with the Falcons, getting it done over here in D.C. It's pretty good. No, it's pretty good. Sounds like the Colts could use some of this. No. Here's the deal. The Colts don't need a guy who's trying to figure out accountability. We've talked about Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard. The Colts need a guy who is about accountability. See, Dan Campbell comes in, and that's who he is. Dan Quinn comes in, and that's who he is. This guy is doing exactly what Al-Qaeda was doing over there, which is try to get back in the league and promote himself. And he's learned and he's grown. Al-Qaeda, not so much. Al-Qaeda's trying to be more of a victim. I'm not taking Kliff Kingsbury. I'm not doing it. Because it's not in his soul to have discipline. It's not in his soul to have standard. How has this guy ever been a coach if you don't understand, or you didn't understand until you got with Dan Quinn about standards? See, that's a big word in the NFL. The standard is the standard. Okay. All it means is there's accountability, there's discipline, and there's somebody in there that ain't tolerating Bolshevik. That's what it means. Now, how is Kliff Kingsbury a football coach after a good playing career at Texas Tech? How is he a football coach if he didn't understand that? How is he a head college football coach if he did not understand? How are you even an offensive coordinator if you don't understand this? What about standards do you not understand? No. With the Colts, I want a guy that is real, meaning I want the Dan Quinn, the Dan Campbell. I don't want the spinoff guy. Mike Vrabel pops into my head. Now, I don't know whether Mike Vrabel's the perfect choice or not for the Colts, but it wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. Because when you have an organization like the Colts claim to have, and certainly Kliff Kingsbury claimed to have with the Arizona Cardinals, that is in disarray and dysfunctional and doesn't have great leadership or discipline or accountability, you need somebody that's about. What a bunch of crap. I'm reading crap today, and I'm digging it. See, this is why you watch this show. I cut through the bullshit. Now, seriously. Somebody's going to say, well, you call that guy Al-Qaeda. I'm not going to say his name. He doesn't deserve to have me say his name. Patrick Mahomes wasn't selected. It's unbelievable to me. Have they lost more than one game? No. He wasn't selected to the AFC roster first time for the Pro Bowl since becoming the starting quarterback of the Chiefs in his second year. He's three-time Super Bowl MVP, six-time Pro Bowl pick. He wasn't among the 5 Chiefs chosen. Meanwhile, Travis Kelce made it for the 10th time. Now, with all due respect, I don't care. A couple Colts made it to the Pro Bowl. I don't care. Pro Bowl, NBA All-Star team, McDonald's All-American game, totally unwatchable. No reason to watch. Don't ever watch. Forget about watching. Don't mean anything. What do they do? Play flag football in the Pro Bowl now? Great. CNN host, ex-CNN host, and this is my guy saying this, and I'm digging on it. Ex-CNN host and Major League douchebag Don Lemon is standing by his decision, calling Trump supporters dumb fucking idiots, telling butthurt critics too fucking bad. Now, this is something that I can get down with. This, my friends, is what I want to hear from somebody like Don Lemon, who is unceremoniously booted off the show, who is off his show on CNN, who has been wrong on literally every issue. Look, I'm shocked by this. A gay African-American male isn't going victim? Wait a second. Give me more. Gimme. So as always, everyone gets all butthurt. I'm not referring to all Trump supporters, Lemon said. I'm talking to the MAGA-brained people who will say and do anything to make excuses for any behavior Donald Trump does. Any bad behavior that the MAGA movement does, he continued. So yes, stand by my words. And if you don't like what I said, then too effing bad, I don't care. I'm just telling you. Now I can get down with that. So never complain and never explain, even if you are a Democrat. Look, if you're going to put all that in the air, like Don Lemon did, and you're going to show how ridiculously dumb you are, and you're going to show ultimately how you are just another LGBT diversity hire, well, I got to tell you, be bold, be strong. Because the other way doesn't work. It doesn't. Well, maybe I spoke. No. And particularly if you believe what you're saying. Now, that's the caveat. That's always the caveat. Do you believe what you're saying, or are you just saying it? People ask me all the time, well, man, I don't even have enough to say. I got to tell you, anything on this radio show, TV show, any show that I don't believe. But because it's not what people want to hear, you don't believe that crap. You think Mike Woodson sucks like I do. No, I think Mike Woodson's the Joe Biden of college basketball, but I think Indiana's going to have a really good team, and they won last night over Rutgers, although Dylan Harper, the fantastic freshman, maybe the first-round pick, didn't play. But I'm just saying, if you truly believe it, why would you ever back down from it? Oh. Hey, I'm going to go back to something. The Sugar Bowl was played last night. And I'm going to go back to something, I love the fact that they gave 24 hours to figure this whole thing out. Look, terrorists didn't win by delaying the Sugar Bowl a day. Terrorists lost again. As McAfee said, they're not going to win. All they did was make the city of New Orleans safer. Now, after the fact, that shouldn't be. We've had enough in enough major cities that we shouldn't be after the facting like this Fitzpatrick is, or Fitzgerald, whatever the hell her name is, who's the superintendent of the police. Shouldn't be after the fact. Should have been before. We'll see what happens. And here's the bitch about it. I'm going to get to the Sugar Bowl, the actual game, in a second. But here's the bitch about it. We're never going to find out the truth. You know it, I know it. We're never going to find out the truth. And this infuriates me. This infuriates me to the point of no end. You're going to have some little girl on TV on one of the legacy stations sling it so that we're actually going to protect the terrorists. You're going to have whatever the FBI, CIA, whatever involvement there is by our own government. You're never going to hear it. We're never going to know. And I don't even know if there is involvement, but it is a little bit weird. Both of these guys were at Fort Bragg, but as our David Hookstead said, the percentage of them even running into each other is about 90,000 people in Fort Bragg. But I digress. Well, the Sugar Bowl was played last night, and I got to tell you, Notre Dame ran roughshod. Notre Dame looked good and looked really, really good. The quarterback for Georgia, Carson Beck, was out, and I'm sure that had a major effect. They never felt like, or it did not feel like, at least to my feeble little brain, that Georgia was going to score many points. And what an end to the half, beginning of the second half. Think about this. People always talk about it. In basketball, last 2 minutes of the first half, first 5 minutes of the second half are really big. This was like the last 2 minutes of the first half and the first 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the second half with a kick return. Notre Dame went on a 17-zip scoring run at a time when it was 3-3. And at 3-3, you kind of wondered, is 6-3 going to win this? Are we going to go overtime with 6-6? You did. Next thing you know, late fumble, recovery, first pass, touchdown, great coaching. Then the kickoff return right after halftime, great coaching. They must have seen something, took it down the sideline. You know, I said that Indiana got a great draw playing Notre Dame in the first round. They did it then. Now Notre Dame is as dangerous as any, and I will not be surprised if we don't see an Ohio State-Notre Dame game in the national championship final. Wouldn't that be fun? Marcus Freeman famously played football at Ohio State. That'd be awesome. But Notre Dame, ladies and gentlemen, is damn good. And that Riley Leonard is not only fast, not only pretty accurate, but he's tough on tough. Riley Leonard, I don't know if he is an NFL quarterback. I have no idea. You know, guys that make the NFL make it for a variety of reasons, and those reasons are usually different than why they're successful in college, or sometimes they are. So I don't know, but I know this. When he went helicopter, that was pretty damn impressive. It was. No, it was really impressive. And Notre Dame got the running game. The line looks good. The defense is ferocious. Kid that went to my high school, Derek Bowen, number 45, I thought played really well and impacted the game. And that was a fun game to watch, weirdly. I've never been a true Notre Dame fan. I knew him. I was okay with him. Never been a Georgia fan. Georgia, and this is what sucks, when the game was over, they were talking about how Georgia doesn't have one of their best teams, and this might be the best Notre Dame team. Okay, people are parsing a little bit to get upset by that. He's probably right. And the result was what that should be. When Notre Dame has a really good Notre Dame team, and they're playing anybody in the country, I don't care who it is, that doesn't have one of their best teams, Notre Dame's going to smack them. Now, here's the other part of it. My Indiana brethren, will you please shut up? Will you just shut up? You know, Indiana people are, 24-10, and we only lost by 10, and we had to do it on their home field. Just shut up. Seriously. Indiana got its ass kicked. Indiana scored some late, fine. But Indiana got its ass kicked. From the start of the game, when the kid ran it like 95 yards, Demetrius, or whatever his name is, ran around left end for 95 yards, out racing our All-American corner, D'Angelo Pons. Notre Dame beat the crap out of Indiana. Now, I'll say this before, and I'll say this again. Indiana absolutely deserved to be in the college football playoff. But just shut up, Indiana fans, with the whole nonsense. Well, we. Oh, shut up. Just shut up. No. The other thing's interesting, right? How about all four of the bye teams got beat? How about that? All four got beat. You know, we always talk about, as coaches, rust versus rest, right? Are you rusty or are you rested? We had a nice conversation yesterday on this show with Randy Cross, because there is something to getting in a rhythm as a player. You get in a rhythm. And every championship team that I've either played on or coached, we got in a rhythm. We did. And it was glorious. It was fantastic. And that rhythm would be something like, okay, Sunday, we have a meeting. Monday, hard practice. Tuesday, lighter practice. Wednesday, game. Thursday, maybe off or a meeting. Friday, practice, travel. Saturday, game. Sunday, off. And when you can find a rhythm, man, do players like that? Do coaches like that? When all of a sudden you got about 4 weeks off, coaches ain't liking that so much. You're out of rhythm. Players don't either. But I don't know that affected the game, at least the Notre Dame game. And I don't think it affected the Penn State game. I really didn't think it affected Arizona State. I mean, look, Ohio State just beat the dog and against Oregon. Maybe it affected Oregon. I don't know. But of the 3 of the 4 games, it didn't really feel like. Maybe you could make the argument that Georgia, but they didn't have their quarterback. And frankly, they weren't very good all year. Now, that's so dumb for me to say because those players forever are going to be SEC champs and have played in the first game. So me saying they're not very good, yeah, I don't know about that.